Hey slots enthusiast, every winning slot strategy has advantages and disadvantages, including only winning immediately. Plus, how do we optimize it? That's coming up. Hi, my name is John Friedel. Welcome to Professor Slots, a channel that's all about mastering casino slots so you can win your way to success. If you've ever walked into a casino, looked around, and wondered what's going on with slots and more, I can help. Beginning with Only Win Immediately, I'm starting a new weekly series of videos on my winning slots strategies. I'll upload my other strategies on Thursdays for a few months. After over a dozen visits within 3 months at a local pari-mutuel racetrack with slot machines, I identified a clear pattern to winning I'd not seen before. Using it, I won 6 taxable jackpots over the next 2 months. As you should be asking yourself at this point, did I make a profit? Yes, I did. The true power of this strategy is that nearly all its winnings are profit. How did I discover this winning slot strategy? I had help. As usual, when I first visit a new-to-me casino, I engaged in conversations with slot attendants and floor managers about recent jackpot winners. They told me about slot machine gamblers who had won quite a few taxable jackpots when moving from machine to machine, one taxable jackpot after another. Yes, casino employees told me. All I had to do was listen and think about what they were saying. Obviously, this newly renovated casino had set up its slot machines to perform this way for good business reasons. Unfortunately for casinos employing this standard casino business practice, it can be heavily leveraged by a savvy slots enthusiast that spots this relatively easy-to-see pattern. Here it is. The pattern was: every taxable jackpot won occurred within the first few bets of a machine. After that first jackpot, called a taste, either large and taxable or small and not taxable, I wouldn't win another jackpot for what seemed like, in my experience, a long time. Hours. I saw this behavior again and again from every slot machine I played. Having now learned how this only win immediately approach works, we're not done here. Be sure to keep watching to also understand its advantages, disadvantages, as well as tips and tricks on how to make the most of using it. With this brand spanking new slot strategy in hand, I decided to play only high-limit slot machines for 5 spins or less if I won any sort of jackpot. Why only 5 spins? Why not 3 or 10 spins? Well, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Next, I made a not unreasonable assumption that this pattern applied to every machine. Finally, and this is something I really thought was interesting, I realized this pattern didn't require much money to be successful. I decided I'd try using it with a relatively small bankroll of $500 within that casino's high-limit slot machine area. I carefully made my desired bankroll and overtime pay, waited for payday, and withdrew my $500 bankroll, then went back to this casino intent on using this and only this strategy to assess its relative level of success. I'd sit at one machine, put the whole bankroll into it, and play maximum bets until I'd placed 5 bets or won anything. Then I'd move to the next slot machine and repeat the process. I did this again and again on machine after machine, right down one row and up another. At that time for that casino, I'd usually win a jackpot before spending 25% of my bankroll on an individual slot machine. During the visit that I first deliberately tried this strategy, I won 3 taxable jackpots on 3 different machines in 25 minutes, each jackpot occurring about 6 to 7 minutes apart. Thankfully, the slots operators at this new casino were highly efficient. Nevertheless, each time I won a taxable jackpot, it took about 5 minutes for the slot operator to take my government-issued ID, complete the paperwork, clear the machine, and then go off to retrieve my hand payout for the jackpot I just won. It was at this point that I'd cash out of the slot machine I was on and move to the next machine, where I'd proceed to again win a jackpot within only a handful of plays. Once again, a slot operator would arrive to complete the hand payout requirements. For this second taxable jackpot, won so soon after the first, I could not offer them my ID. It was still in the hands of the first slot operator. I did still have my player card, though. Thankfully, they seemed to understand and accept this circumstance. They proceeded to complete the paperwork, clear the machine, and go away to retrieve my hand pay jackpot. I repeated this process yet a third time on the next machine in the row of slot machines. In this way, clearly using this strategy, I won 3 taxable jackpots within 25 minutes with an actual playing time of about 10 to 15 minutes. Total profit was $6,100 for a 1,200% return on a $500 bankroll. There are, as with most winning strategies, downsides when taking advantage of this pattern that savvy players should be aware of. First, it's a highly obvious pattern. Not only is it relatively easy to figure out, it is easy to notice when someone else is doing it. Second, if a player sits down at the next machine and notices that the last spin was a win, then they may need to skip that slot machine. In my experience, using this strategy number 1 is the only method I've found that sometimes can result in a jackpot from a $100 slot machine, a denomination I usually completely avoid. It's worth pointing out that playing to this pattern can be highly disruptive to employing other winning patterns, strategies, or approaches. Why? Because it's such a cheap way to win at slots. When taking a relatively small bankroll is more than enough money to win with even less probably being enough, why bother trying another approach that requires a larger bankroll, takes more time and energy to succeed, and still has the potential to lose that larger bankroll when unsuccessful? This winning pattern is disruptive to gambling because it hardly seems like gambling. It either works or it doesn't, and either way the experience is over quickly. Perhaps these consequences matter to individual players. It depends on each player's style of gambling. Specifically, whether this winning strategy has a positive or negative impact on your gambling goals depends on what your gambling goals are. Its main disadvantage is that it's not fun because it's over quickly once all machines have been played once, and few players' club points are earned because of the small bankroll needed. But if your goal is to make money, well, only winning immediately is for you. To optimize this winning strategy, figure out how many bets to make. I sometimes call this strategy my 5-pull method. But why 5 bets? Why not 3 bets or 10 bets? We're taking advantage of a standard casino business practice. The casino wants to give a player new to the machine a quick taste so they don't get up and leave. The casino wants them to stay, spend that small win, and proceed to empty their pockets into the machine. In essence, I'm saying do the opposite. Leave once you've gotten that taste. Move on and collect them from machine after machine. But how long should you play each? I like to give the machine a chance to give me a taste. 5 chances seems to work best for me because I'd leave on an earlier bet if I want anything. That's all the taste you'll get. If you get more than 1 taste, that's not tastes anymore. Something else is going on. I used 5 bets because it's not very wasteful, but some slots enthusiasts have a bit of success with 3 bets, which has the advantage of requiring an even smaller bankroll. Others prefer to use 10 bets, even if it costs more. You get to decide how many bets work for you. Just remember that using 500 bets isn't using this strategy. I'll see you next time. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, which helps grow our community of slots enthusiasts. Stick around for more on my winning slot strategies. Have fun, be safe, and make good choices. Bye.